When people first learn about AAC, they often picture it happening during instruction, at the table, or in therapy. But AAC was never meant to live only in those moments. It's meant to be available all day in play, routines, transitions, and even those hard moments. In this episode, we're talking all about what truly changes when access to communication is everywhere. I'm Tara Phillips, and this is the Autism Little Learners podcast, where I share simple, neuro-affirming tools to support young autistic children with compassion and confidence. When people first learn about AAC, they often imagine it as something that happens during instruction, at a table, during therapy, in a therapy room, in carefully planned moments where everyone is calm and ready with a specific activity. But modeling AAC was never meant to live only in those spaces. AAC is meant to live everywhere. When AAC is modeled all day during play, transitions, routines, and even those hard moments, something powerful begins to shift, not just for kids, but for adults, classrooms, and relationships. And those changes don't usually show up as immediate, perfect communication. They show up as trust, engagement, and access. Modeling AAC all day doesn't mean constant prompting or narrating every single moment. It means AAC is available throughout the day, modeled naturally in real situations, and used through modeling without expectation. So instead of thinking, when should I model AAC? The question becomes, why wouldn't AAC be available right now? AAC belongs in arrival routines, play, snack, transitions, outdoor time, moments of excitement, moments of frustration. Whether you're modeling on a core board, an AAC device, or another form of AAC, this level of access really does change everything. One of the first changes adults notice with all-day AAC modeling is improved regulation. When children know that communication is always available, their nervous systems don't have to work as hard. They don't have to guess what adults want. They don't have to rely on behavior to communicate. They don't have to wait until they go through a stress response to be understood. Words like help, stop, break, all done, don't want, don't like, become tools for self-advocacy, and self-advocacy is everything. When AAC is only modeled during instruction, many children disengage. But when AAC shows up in joyful, meaningful moments, especially play, kids lean in. They begin to notice the AAC device or core board is relevant, that communication connects them to others, that adults are responsive, not demanding. These examples of AAC use help children understand that communication isn't just for work, it's for life. Engagement grows not because kids are prompted and giving you the output that you're hoping to hear, but because communication finally makes sense. All day AAC modeling removes pressure for kids and adults alike. For kids, there's no expectation for them to perform, and that's huge. There are no right or wrong answers, and there's no demand to use AAC on command. For adults, no need to prompt perfectly, no pressure to get output from kids, and you have permission to model imperfectly. When the pressure drops on everyone, learning becomes possible, and that is the power of modeling AAC without expectation throughout the day. Now, one of the biggest long-term shifts with all-day modeling is spontaneity. Children with consistent exposure begin to initiate a little more often, explore language freely, combine words in new ways. And this doesn't happen overnight, but it doesn't happen when AAC, whether on a core board or on a device that teams use, are treated as part of daily life, not as a special activity. When adults model all day long, communication becomes relational, not transactional. So instead of say this, or touch this button, or use your talker, communication becomes shared and responsive and human. Children learn that communication connects them to others, and connection is the foundation for everything else. I feel really strongly that both regulation and connection are the foundation for everything when it comes to learning and teaching. It's important to clarify what all-day AAC modeling isn't. It's not forcing kids to use AAC, correcting how they communicate, expecting full sentences, or withholding AAC if they're babbling on it or not using it quote-unquote correctly. All-day modeling is about exposure and access, not about performance. Even well-intentioned adults sometimes stop modeling AAC because they're afraid they're doing it wrong, or they might do it wrong, or they feel awkward using an AAC device, or maybe they're not seeing immediate results. But AAC learning is cumulative. Children are watching, listening, learning, even when they're not responding. Consistency matters far more than perfection. So let everyone on your team know that. Consistency matters far more than perfection when it comes to modeling AAC. When AAC is modeled all day over weeks and months, adults often notice fewer escalations, increased participation, we talked about that already, more shared moments of joy, and growing confidence in communication. These changes don't come from drilling or prompting. They come from access, safety, and repetition. Now I'm going to give you a quick recap of what we talked about in this episode. Modeling AAC all day means access across the entire day. Consistent modeling supports regulation and engagement, and modeling without expectation reduces pressure. Trust and connection grow when AAC is used relationally, not transactionally. Here's one simple action that you can take today. You don't need to model AAC consistently to see change. Try one of these things. Choose one routine, snack, play, transitions, and commit to modeling AAC there for a week, even if it's just one word. And you're going to model without expectation, so no prompting, correcting, or waiting for them to respond or imitate you. And then notice engagement and connection, not how many buttons were pressed. Do we have a deal? Let's do this. If you want to feel more confident about modeling AAC beyond structured moments, you don't have to figure it out alone. My AAC bootcamp walks you through how to model AAC naturally across the entire day, during play, during routines, during real-life moments, without pressure or perfection. If you join bootcamp, which is running February 9th through 12th, 2026, you will leave with practical strategies that you can use right away and a lot of demonstrations to show you how. If you are listening after February 12th, 2026, shoot us an email at support@autismlittlelearners.com and we can see if we have a replay available for purchase or if we have another boot camp coming up. When AAC is modeled all day, communication stops being a task and starts becoming a relationship. Thank you for spending this time with me. You're doing important work and the small supports you put into place matter. Keep leading with connection and I'll talk to you again next week.